From toilet paper lowering testosterone due to forever chemicals, to deodorant causing leukemia, here are 10 everyday items that are slowly poisoning you, starting with how most of us are injecting forever chemicals up our butt. A forever chemical called 6,2-fluorotellumer phosphate diester is found in toilet paper, and it was found that we absorb 6.4 to 80 micrograms a year from toilet paper alone. This chemical is the problem for low testosterone, kidney problems, and sometimes death. So here's what you're going to do. The key word you're looking for when buying toilet paper is non-toxic or bamboo. Most likely, these toilet papers will advertise no harsh chemicals, which is exactly what you want. The brand Real and Grove are the best places I know to go if you're looking to avoid these chemicals. But this is just one of 10 poisons we absorb from everyday items. Like, I've been using a what's so-called clean deodorant my whole life only to learn that it's actually bad for you.
Manufacturers do not have to disclose this. It is considered trade secret.
So if the ingredients are a secret, how do we identify what deodorant to buy? Like, why is this healthy deodorant that even says aluminum free and baking soda free actually poisoning us? First, the term fragrance means that it contains this chemical called parabens and phthalates, which causes leukemia. And
So if you've ever sprayed something on yourself and are still able to smell it hours later, that's a telltale sign that you've been exposed to phthalates.
second, spray deodorants use petroleum, a chemical used for gas, heating buildings, and burning fuel.
It's pretty crazy that I could get a lighter and go and it would be flammable, and then I spray that on my body like I'm lathering myself in petrol or something.
That's essentially what that is.
Petrol.
Yeah, because it's coming from petroleum.
Any sprayable deodorant will give you a flammable warning sign in bold letters. So what do? Do we stop using deodorant?
So the best option for deodorant is to look for something that has essential oils and is a roll-on or a stick, solid.
And the label must say phthalate-free, paraben-free, and fragrance-free. The brand Salt & Stone is the best place I know if you're looking to avoid these chemicals, but it's not just everyday items. Like, did you know our teeth fillings can poison us if we get the wrong type of treatment?
We would do tests and say, look, your numbers came back, it looks great. You removed the mercury amalgam fillings from your teeth, your mercury levels have dropped.
Really?
Yeah, it was pretty shocking. And I felt almost instantly better when they took those out of my mouth. It was that striking of an effect.
Studies found that these mercury-based tooth fillings transferred mercury to the brain. Mercury damages your ability to communicate with others, but also our sex organs, making it harder to have children. Interestingly, dentists will ask you to have one of 3 options if you have a cavity: mercury filling, composite filling, or glass ionomer. Unfortunately, none of these are options you should go for, because composite filling contains microplastics, which is the core cause for breast cancer and prostate cancer. Glass ionomer releases fluoride, which is maybe good for the teeth, but it's a pure neurotoxin that calcifies our pineal gland. So basically, we lose our ability to learn. So what do? Porcelain filling is what you want. No harmful chemicals, they're less likely to cause allergic reactions, and closely mimic the natural tooth structure. But this is just the tip of the iceberg, because your drive-thru coffee might as well be poisoning you. Here's what the founder of Starbucks had to say about one of their iterations on innovating their to-go cups.
The standard cup in the world was that terrible styrofoam cup that is used in diners in New York City. Remember that cup?
Yeah.
I put boiling water into that cup. 5 minutes later, the cup is starting to turn like a golden color because of the chemical.
Can I get started for you?
Can I get the black coffee to go, please? Guys, we're here to order some hot beverages.
While they fixed the color change in their beverages, the danger still remains.
Because in order to make the cup waterproof, the interior is coated with a thin layer of plastic called polyethylene.
When hot water is poured, you're 100% guaranteed to get that plastic inside of your body, which will never come out. And these plastics are also the reason why obesity rate is so high.
Obesity in children is skyrocketing now, and it's likely due to these chemicals.
The bottom line is we want to avoid plastic to-go cups, but if we have to go out for social reasons, go for an iced beverage, or there are a lot of local coffee shops that provide actual cups.
I just ordered tea from this coffee shop. They use actual mugs.
But little did I know, drinking tea was actually a mistake.
From researchers in McGill who are warning of microplastics in your tea bag.
But we were really shocked when we saw that the tea bags were actually releasing billions
of plastic particles into a cup of tea.
The problem with these microplastics is we end up inheriting them to our children and even our grandchildren, creating generational toxification.
What the mother is being exposed to, the baby is also being exposed to, and also her grandchildren are being exposed.
So what about loose tea? Can I drink my tea in peace if it's not from a tea bag?
It's important to know that these tea leaves are not washed during the preparation process. So like many vegetables, tea leaves are a victim of pesticides, especially black tea, green tea, and mint tea. I'm not a tea expert, but the brand Red Blossom and Yunnan Sourcing were tested pesticide, heavy metal, and chemical free, according to a Reddit thread from John Tea Guy.
Personally, I only drink water.
But my gosh, water is not safe anymore.
Tap water is a source of hormones, so endocrine disruptors, pesticides, heavy metals, fluoride if it's added to the water, agricultural runoff. There's a bunch of different contaminants in tap water, and there have even been tragic instances of high levels of lead because of the lead piping that water is transported through.
So there's actually two solutions. One, not involving buying a water filter. So first solution is boiling your water.
After you've boiled water, there's sort of a white crust at the bottom of the pot. That's actually calcium, calcification, and the microplastics get trapped in that calcified layer.
Second option is buying a reverse osmosis water filter. AquaTrue Countertop Reverse Osmosis is the one I use. These 3 filters filter out the following chemicals.
You know, making this video is probably making me very unpopular, but this next item is probably going to make me more unpopular, especially with the ladies.
Now, most of the candles that you may have in your home are probably made from paraffin, which is a petroleum byproduct and gives off carcinogenic fumes.
Whenever you burn something, nothing good is going to happen. But to prove the point, I bought this candle and we're gonna light it out and measure air quality, specifically carbon dioxide level, which is correlated with our intelligence.
But while we wait, let's look at the 3 major things that happens when we burn a candle. First, it releases ultrafine particles.
Ultrafine particles are tiny particles, less than 100 microns in diameter. Less than 0.1 microns in diameter, 100 nanometers. And these particles have the ability to, as soon as you inhale them, they'll go into your brain. They have the ability to do that. They also have the ability to go as far down into the lung.
Second, candle releases a chemical called volatile organic compounds, and they are well-known carcinogens, meaning they cause cancer. And third, some candles have phthalates and parabens. These are specifically used in synthetic fragrances, which give most scented candles their aroma.
So the one I'm testing is also scented, by the way, which is not good.
Anyways, after an hour of lighting the candles, carbon dioxide level increased from 300 ppm to 2,700 ppm, and air quality actually seemed, I guess, okay. So bottom line is, don't use candles. You'll save so much money, but if you really want to use candles, Dr. Berger recommends you do the following.
If you find a candle that is low emission, like beeswax, essential oils, wooden or cotton wicks, that's a much better alternative.
Much like candles, using the wrong cookware was shown that it releases up to 2.3 billion PFAS particles.
When you heat that pan high enough, it will vaporize and get into the air, and if you inhale it, you run the risk of experiencing what's known as Teflon flu.
It was shown a surface scratch on a non-stick frying pan releases up to 9,000 PFAS particles. But if that scratch becomes a crack, that number jumped from 9,000 to 2.3 billion particles. And PFAS particles is the #1 reason for birth miscarriages and birth defects. The company DuPont was the originator of Teflon frying pan, and even while they knew it was harming the workers in their factory, it became the norm till this day.
He was born with half of a nose, 1 nostril, a serrated eyelid, and a keyhole pupil where the iris and the retina is not connected. I knew right then it was a big cover-up.
The documents in this case, they really tell the story about what the company knew.
The bottom line is, anything that's not made out of steel, glass, ceramic, or porcelain needs to be trashed.
You might be saving time when you're cooking, but how much of that time is being taken off the back end of your lifespan?
Unfortunately, cookware is only the start, as packaged foods is suboptimal.
So when you're eating a lot of ultra-processed foods and you are lacking in that fiber, that's going to disrupt your body's natural cycle of producing this hormone that keeps you fuller for longer and makes you not want to snack as much.
This makes you addicted to processed snacks or food, but the scary part is this was all intentional. In fact, tobacco manufacturer Philip Morris and R.J. Reynolds teach the food industry their cigarette addiction playbook to change the way processed food is in grocery stores.
So you might simply think, oh, just don't eat processed foods then. But it's not that simple, because things that boost our health, like supplements or yogurt or milk, they're also considered processed. And
the problem with the supplement industry is the amount of heavy metals that come with a food during the processing. I use Truvani protein powder that uses very clean ingredients, but it turns out it's not optimal.
Before I was eating Truvani protein, they have a nice ingredient profile, and we found this has high levels of heavy metals.
These are the best brands we can use for supplements. Just to be clear, I'm not affiliated with these companies in any sort of way. But on top of these supplements, I liked Brian Johnson's supplement stacks and his supplement recommendations in his blueprint protocols, because those are tested. Brian basically did all the research for us and providing it for free, so I would definitely check his blueprint protocol website.
now personally, I do use Brian's supplement stack and his olive oil, but I don't use his longevity mix or his protein powder, because if you go to his ingredients, it does say it contains natural flavors.
But much like processed foods, skincare is another area people are concerned about.
I have found personally, the more I mess with my face, the more products I use, the more I end up feeling like I need them because my skin is reacting differently. So I think it's creating an issue that wasn't there and then comes in and like, oh, this is the solution to that. It's brilliant if you think about it from a money-making perspective.
Simply put, we're getting addicted to products ranging from lip balms to cosmetics to shampoos to lotion. So let's first break down what to do and what brands to use. The key words we're looking for are paraben-free, phthalate-free, fragrance-free.
So personally, I like to follow the 80% rule. So 80% of the ingredients are super clean. Now there are some questionable ingredients like CeraVe products where this face wash, it says fragrance free and everything, but there are some chemicals that I can't quite pronounce and not sure if they're quite good for you. Now, as for shampoo, I use the product Native. It also says paraben free, silicone free, sulfate free, but if we turn it back over, they're using fragrances, so that's not too good. But yeah, 80% of the ingredients are clean, 20% is bad. Now, come to think of it, yeah, I should probably also follow what I preach. So after making this video, I promise you guys, I'm gonna change it to whatever that product is.
To go even deeper, I use Blue Lamp products for hand soap, laundry detergent, and dish detergent because they clearly indicate in their website it's made without parabens, phosphates, ammonia, VOCs, chlorine, bleach, or phthalates, and it's fragrance-free, which has all the keywords we're looking for. So obviously, if we try to change everything at once, it's going to become very overwhelming, and we might even lose motivation to stay healthy altogether. So I decided to put them into levels. Level 1 are easy to do alternatives that will give you the maximum amount of health benefits, while level 2 and 3 are going to be catered towards the hyper optimizers. So in level 1, I would say getting a water filter or boiling your water is going to be the key aspect, because like it or not, we drink water every day. The quality of the water you put inside of your body will compound very fast over long periods of time. And in level 2, I would start with using safe cookwares, simply throwing everything away that's not steel, glass, or porcelain, and not going out to eat unless you have events, as the to-go boxes or processed foods will contain toxins. Another aspect I would add in is not using candles or fragrances, as it's not a necessity. In level 3, these are for the true hyper optimizers. Getting cleaner skincare products, cleaning products, and even being aware of what you wear is what I would go for. I'll link everything I use below. Now, I want to be very clear. If you're doing level 3, like using organic toilet paper, but neglecting proper exercise, nutrition, or consistent 8 hours of sleep, this level is going to be useless. You have to focus on the macros first. And luckily, we have a video that talks about 50 ways to get healthier, where most health experts agree on, so go check it out. I'll see you in the next one.